What's going on, rock stars? As you guys saw from the previous clip, we have a lot to get into. Welcome back to the channel. It's your girl taliajanette, leader of the Rockstarz. Welcome. If you are new to this channel, if you are a returning rock star, I thank you for coming back. So today we are going to get into it. So you guys saw from that previous clip, that video, let me preface it with, that video was apparently, allegedly, because I don't like to give y'all a half truth and a whole lie, that clip was allegedly from Toronto, Canada. Now, I am not entirely sure how the exact gun laws work in Canada. I believe you are allowed to have hunting type of firearms, but you cannot have like a full-fledged pistol. I say all that to say this. Everybody loves to say gun control works until something like that happens, right? Everybody loves to say gun control is needed until someone is kicking in your door at 2 in the morning, right? So let's talk about it. Now, again, I can only speak for where I live. I live in the great dire state of New York, right? I can only speak on New York. New York does not have the stand your ground law that some states like Florida may have, for example. Now, are you allowed to fire on someone who kicks your door in at 3 in the morning in New York? Absolutely. You are absolutely allowed to defend your home if someone kicks in your front door and steps across your threshold. This is called the castle doctrine. Now, I want to give you guys the exact definition. I'll post it somewhere on this screen, but pretty much in a nutshell, the castle doctrine has been around for a long time, since the beginning of castles, hence the name, right? Pretty much, if someone breaks into your home, you are allowed to protect your castle. You are allowed to use deadly force to protect your castle if someone decides they want to come in and kick in your door at 2 in the morning, right? Pretty much, you have a right to declare, the people have declared the right to secure their homes. It recognizes your home as a place where you should feel secure from unlawful intrusion, the operative word being unlawful, and gives you the right to meet force with force, including deadly force, if an intruder threatens your safety. Full stop. Full stop. Now, does this differ from the weird self-defense law we have in New York? Absolutely. Now, New York also has this thing called duty to retreat. This is geared more towards if I'm in the street and someone is harassing me, I have a duty to retreat. My civilian right is I have to get out of that situation. Whether it is I run, I get into a vehicle, I have to remove myself from the threat, which I think is the dumbest thing ever if I didn't start said situation. Now, if I am in a situation where let's say I'm pinned into a corner, I'm pinned into a wall, and there's no space for me to retreat, I can now use deadly force. I can now back out on you, and we can make it whatever you want to make it. Now, is that the same as, all right guys, so sorry, my camera had died, but where were we? We were talking about the castle doctrine and the duty to retreat. So yes, again, New York is a duty to retreat state and not a stand your ground state. I will post the map again somewhere here that it'll show you duty to retreat states. Shockingly, majority of the country is not duty to retreat. Majority of the country is stand your ground, believe it or not. So what we're going to do, I'm going to show you guys a video that my friend sent me from his Ring camera of a situation he dealt with a couple of weeks ago, and then we'll get back to the topic. Video from someone that I know, one of my friends that lives in the state of New Jersey. New Jersey is another one of those really funny gun law states, but New Jersey is also a duty to retreat and has the, I believe, do they have castle doctrine? Actually, New Jersey does not have a castle doctrine now that I am looking at it. Or at least this map that I'm looking at, that New Jersey doesn't have neither stand your ground nor does it have a castle doctrine. So my conflict with this video that my friend sent me from his Ring camera, one, I felt that he was doing too much talking with this kid that was at his door. Backstory, to summarize it, the young man came to his door and started, you know, you guys see he's aggressively ringing the doorbell. And my friend comes to the door. He doesn't open his door fully. He's giving the kid conversation. The kid is telling him that he's looking for a set of keys. If you guys were paying attention in the background, you see his friends are in the street. Now, we know home invasions in the United States have drastically been going up left and right. I don't know if this was a scanning of the block to see who lives with who answers the door, who responds to what. I cannot tell you what these kids were doing. For all we know, they were probably actually looking for a set of keys. But at night, yeah, it was kind of sketchy to me that they did this at night in the dark where you can't see any keys on the ground instead of just coming back the next day in the daylight hours. So what I explained to my friend was that, one, he was doing too much of the back and forth. And you guys have to realize, like, especially in these suburban areas that you guys live in, can it happen in the residential areas? Yes, it can. I have seen countless videos of people living in apartment buildings and their apartment doors have been kicked in, or you've had somebody, you know, they're in the hallways and they're jiggling people's doors. This is why I gotta stop leaving your doors unlocked too in this day and age. Like, I get it, when we were younger, we used to leave our doors unlocked. Oh, I promise y'all I ain't leaving my door unlocked unless I'm going downstairs to get food. And even that sometimes is a reach for me. But one thing I have stopped doing, I used to be very, you know, Amazon, FedEx, whoever, ring my bell, I jump up and I answer the door. One of the best things I did was invest in a Ring camera or a video camera. It's not a Ring camera that I have, but I have a video camera doorbell. And I stopped answering my door unarmed. Now, is it a little paranoid? Yeah. Is it overkill for some of you? Absolutely. But a lot of you are just answering your doors, and a lot of these videos that you're seeing too with the home invasions are people dressed as UPS. They're dressed as Amazon workers. They're dressed as FedEx workers, and they're kicking in people's doors upon the opening, and then they're going in and then they're robbing people. They're assaulting them. They're doing whatever to them. You answer your door armed, you at least have a fighting chance. Like, again, once you cross my threshold in the state of New York, I don't have a duty to retreat. I am to defend my castle at all costs, and that is what I will do. Now, with my friend, he would have been in a catch-22 either way, because as much as people like to say New York gun laws suck, Jersey gun laws suck just as bad. If not, they might be actually surpassing New York after a certain point. The only thing I could say with Jersey is that they can own ARs, I believe, in Jersey. We can't in New York. That's the only difference I see in our gun laws. Everything else, Jersey kind of sucks a little bit more than New York does. But I will say my friend would have been in a catch-22 either way had these guys kicked in his door, because if he would have defended his home, they would have tried to say he was in the wrong for defending his home, because again, New Jersey is not a castle doctrine state. It is not a stand your ground state. It's only a duty to retreat. And my thing is, how do I retreat if 3 people have kicked in my house door and there are other people in my residence? So like, you always got to keep that in mind. So the purpose of this video, other than trying to get people to be a little bit more aware, especially in this current climate of firearm buying, you guys need to start always assuming that somebody has a firearm in their residence and that they have a firearm on them. Since I've become a legal carrier, I always assume somebody has a gun on them. I have super turned down my temperament. I was one of those people who would like to, you know, I would go back and forth with people in the streets. Like, you bump me, it's like, oh, you can't say excuse me, da da da. You bump me now, I just kind of let it slide, because I don't know what you're carrying and you don't know what I'm carrying. So yeah, it's kind of that type of situation. But as far as the home invasion situations are going, I just want people to be a little bit more aware of, one, what your state laws are. Because again, if my friend would have lived in New York, he would have had every right to, the men would have kicked in his door, he would have every right to light all of them up. However, again, a lot of people, not saying him, but I'm just saying some people in general don't know the law of the land of where they're at. You're thinking that, oh, it's my house, it's self-defense, and then lo and behold, you're the one going to jail and not 3 people that just kicked in your door. You're the one going to jail because you decided you wanted to practice your Second Amendment right, which is in the Constitution. I don't think they've done away with the Constitution yet. They trample on it every day, but I don't think we've completely done away with our Constitution of the United States just yet. Maybe by the end of the year we may not have a Constitution, but another video for another day. But you guys have to start learning the lay of the land, and I mean the law of the land, because you'll go to these certain states. It's the same thing in my last video with the flying with the firearm. You're thinking you're good flying out of a state and you're going somewhere, and then lo and behold, your gun is a whole felony charge now. Or you're coming back home and now it's a whole situation now. So this is just more so becoming more aware of where you're living, and especially for the first time gun owners now, like the people who, you know, you've been a gun owner for a few months now or a few years, and you kind of been doing the proper research and everything for what your state. So you kind of should be doing this research, I would say, before you buy the firearm. If you're going to apply for it, apply for it. I keep telling you guys, I think everybody should apply for their gun licenses yesterday. But if you're going to do this, again, being a gun owner, a huge different level of responsibilities at this point in the game. And a lot of people neglect that that's a major thing. So you need to learn not only the laws for, I would say, where you live, but maybe for like the neighboring states. Like, again, I'm in New York, so unfortunately I live in the tri-state area, so I have to deal with New Jersey laws, Connecticut laws. The only state that I'm really good in outside of New York in my local area is PA, really, at this point, because I'm licensed in PA. Had I not been licensed in PA, I would have an issue in Pennsylvania as well. So we're hoping at some point that, you know, I mean, I don't know if it's ever going to happen, but we're hoping for constitutional carry. But if not, you should definitely also look into at least getting licensed in neighboring states and learning laws there. But to circle back to the initial point of this video, your castle doctrine, your duty to retreat, and your self-defense laws. Please learn your self-defense laws in your state. Again, summarize all of this in all these points. In New York City, someone is within 21 feet of me, it's not self-defense. 21 feet, I have ample movement to get out the way, and my duty to retreat kicks in. If I am cornered, I am surrounded, and I can't escape, all that duty to retreat goes out the window. You defend yourself and you get home. You deal with the lawyers after the fact, but you get home. Castle doctrine in New York City again, New York State. If someone crosses your threshold and you cannot get away, defend your castle at all costs. Once they cross that that little line that you cross from the outside world to your house, all bets is off. So please, please, please find out if your state is a castle doctrine state, a stand your ground state, or both. Or find out if you have, the duty to retreat, or you don't have to retreat. You can just light somebody up. Please learn where you can and can't do that, because a simple thought of self-defense can quickly turn into a felony charge, and then you're looking at a whole nother plethora of problems. But that's all for this video, you guys. I will catch you in the next one. Everyone stay safe